Mickey Rabbit's death is still weighing heavily on everyone's mind, and no one's had much sleep. Flasher Horse hasn't slept much either, but his is a different excuse. He's been getting to know his new girlfriend Susu. Although Gang Gang feels a deep sense of compassion for Rosie and her children, his unusual outlook on death has enabled him to deal with it with much less stress. But he still wishes there was a happier atmosphere for the lesson he's about to give. As soon as they're all ready, he gets straight on with it.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. And thank you all for allowing me to give you this lesson at such an early hour. As I promised, today I will teach you the title of life's law.
That's extremely kind of you, Mr. Gang Gang.
It's my pleasure, Miss Pig.
So just what's it all about then?
Gang Gang gives Mo a big, beaming smile.
MYOHO, RENGE, KYO, Mr. Wombat.
Could you say that again, please, mate?
MYOHO, RENGE, KYO.
Oh, yeah? And just what's that all about then?
MYOHO, RENGE, KYO is the title of life's law. It's the sound vibration of the middle way which allows any of us, no matter who we are, to tap directly into our ninth consciousness and set our true selves free.
Kanga Bungie squints his face in the glow of a flickering bright sun ray.
But what does it all mean?
Well, even if I could, to fully explain that would take an eternity, little brother. But I can certainly break it down into sections and give you all an idea.
Please do.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Bluey is racking his brain trying to remember where he's heard the words before. There's been so much going on in his life since being shot that it's difficult for him to know the difference between what belongs to the present or the past anymore. Nevertheless, just hearing these words appears to have triggered something deep in Bluey's being.
Very well then, Mr. Bull Cow. To start with, the law of MYOHO is divided into two parts, MYO and HO. MYO is the state where everything in life that is not obvious to us exists. This includes our memories when we're not thinking about them, our hidden potential, our emotions when they're not being expressed, our fears, our desires, our wisdom, our happiness, our karma, our destiny, and most important of all, our enlightenment. And half, the other half, is where everything in life, when it becomes obvious to us, exists.
Terence Camel is looking a little bewildered.
I'm not sure I understand.
No,
No,
neither
neither
do
do
I.
Mr. Camel, as an example, HO is in action whenever a thought pops up from our memory and we think about it, or when we experience or express any of our emotions, or when something comes forth from our karma. When anything at all ever becomes active, it simply means it has come out of the state of MYO and into the state of HO. In fact, every single thing, regardless of how big or small it is, that has ever existed in the past, exists now, or will exist in the future, is continuously reverting back and forth between the two states of MYO and HO.
That's quite an extraordinary statement.
Yes, it
Do we
is.
have to make this happen, or does it happen on its own?
It happens in accordance with the workings of the law RENGE, little brother. It's the universal rhythm of all life and death. And if it didn't happen, neither us nor anything else could possibly exist.
Gee, that's amazing.
It is indeed. And just as there are thoughts and feelings constantly chopping and changing within us, everything in the world around us is also constantly chopping and changing according to the workings of this law. And it happens whether or not we realise or believe it. In fact, more things are going in and out of MYOHO in a single moment of time than it would ever be possible to describe. As the enlightened human once said in the presence of my friend Billy, it's the mysterious nature of our lives from moment to moment that the mind cannot comprehend nor words express.
Yeah, it's pretty deep, all right.
Gang Gang's explanation of MYOHO reminds Bluey of how information is repeatedly brought back and forth from the hard drive in a computer. The fact that Gang Gang is explaining it more than 100 years before computers are even thought of has Bluey amazed.
However, to answer your question more precisely, little brother, just like MYOHO, the law RENGE also has two sides to it, cause and effect. Basically speaking, MYOHO and RENGE work side by side simultaneously. It's the causes we've made in our past or are presently making that continuously determine how this law functions uniquely in each of our lives, as well as our surroundings. In other words, nothing ever happens by coincidence or chance. It's all determined according to the law of cause and effect, RENGE. Now, you may all be wondering how it is that these two laws, MYOHO and RENGE, are able to function together simultaneously and in perfect fusion. And the answer to that is KYO, the universal law of communication that joins everything together, including the past, present and future. These three laws, MYOHO, RENGE, KYO, are the fundamental backbone of everything that exists, including the 3,000 realms and all that they represent.
I agree with Kangabunji. It's extremely deep.
Yes, it certainly is, Sarah.
Sarah Sheep has been going 10 to a dozen trying to translate as much as she can of what's being said to the children.
It is, Mrs. Sheep, but like I told Mrs. Goat yesterday, it's not necessary to understand the 3,000 realms in order to experience the wonderful benefits that are available when we recite the title of life's law. By adding Nam to MYOHO RENGE KYO, which simply means to fuse with or become one with, and facing the east in harmony with the direction the land is turning, any of us can become one with our true selves and the environment. This is what is known as enlightenment, and it's done by repeatedly reciting Nam MYOHO RENGE KYO rhythmically like a song, consistently each day. When we do this, we're able to bring forth an ever-increasing flow of wisdom and good fortune from within our own life, and eventually overcome or change just about anything. Of course, the more sincerely it's done, the more powerful the effect.
Suddenly Bluey remembers where he's heard the words. It was in a movie he saw about Tina Turner's life. In it, she chants the words Nam MYOHO RENGE KYO as she successfully turns her terrible circumstances around. He's astounded. Everything Gang Gang has been saying is sounding more real to him than anything he's ever read or been told before.
Do any of you recall the story I told you about my friend who was terrified of storms?
Oh, yes.